act on it yet. He was still dealing with that dude because, from my understanding, he done manipulated Gumby to the point, and I believe he got him under paperwork, signed a RealToon West contract. What this whole ass nigga did, he took my formula that we did the video on, I told you that I taught him with, he did it to Gumby. He signed Gumby under him, basically. And he gonna try to do it to other individuals, because he did it with Bob report, but Bob didn't sign no paperwork with him. So what he's doing, the Bart Simpson nigga, is he took the formula I taught him, and now he's trying to utilize it and pull other individuals under his umbrella. Nevertheless, this message to Bart Simpson, you can't take Gumby, that other nigga, you can't take none of these ninjas and make a bounty hunter BJ. It ain't gonna happen. What you produced with me was genuine. The stuff that we did and the collaboration I did with you, fool, was all genuine. You would never make another individual at my statics. And this is what he's trying to do. So he done reel Gumby in. He figured Gumby got a good story, he can bank off that, he can eat off of it and benefit off of it. But my whole thing was, like I said, I got into Gumby head and enlightened him with the game on what was happening. Now, whether he got a chance, opportunity to act on that, again, he didn't because he was arrested. So I don't know what his relationship is extended beyond that, feel me? But let's say this, TV Land, before I close out on this. Let's see if Bart Simpson helped put up a bail, if they even give him a bail. Or, matter of fact, I know they ain't gonna give him a bail.
Let's stop it right there, man. Most hated blogger in Texas. I'm gonna start saying the world, because the amount of slack that I've gotten from Los Angeles, California is wild. It's wild. And it's coming from people like Bounty Hunter BJ. That hurt me. That actually hurt my feelings. Me getting talked to by Bounty Hunter BJ. See, at first, you had us fooled when you came and said, Gumby not moving like an OG. That was the narrative you put out.
Just from an OG perspective to another G, homie, he not moving the right way because A1, he have revealed too much of himself and gave access of himself too much and too fast with this internet.
But see, in this video, you made it clear when you said, Bart Simpson, he'll never be able to make another Bounty Hunter BJ. He'll never be able to do what Gumby, what he was able to do with me, because it was genuine. You hating. I knew from the jump you was hating on Gumby. I knew from the jump you was hating on Gumby. So let me tell y'all about Bounty Hunter BJ. Well, I ain't gonna call him Bounty Hunter BJ. That's too much like right. That's not his name. So for those of you who don't know, I gave him that name. He wasn't Bounty Hunter BJ on this internet before me. He was CEO Nino Cappuccino. He was Nino Cappuccino till he met RealToon, and I told him, you going by the name Bounty Hunter BJ. You go look at his Instagram, I made his link tree. I managed his social medias at a point. I turned BJ up. I made BJ a star on the internet. BJ was getting 100,000 views almost every video we dropped. You know what I'm saying? Since then, he's been on Professor Melly Mel's channel. Shout out Melly Mel, they doing their thing. But you only getting 10,000 and below unless you speak on my name. When you speak on my name or you speak on my work, Gumby being my work, when you speak on my work, you get to going up. And that's why you hating. You hating because I applied the same formula. Watch this. I gave Gumby the name Hoover Gumby. Before Gumby was on the internet, OG Gumby this, or he didn't know what he wanted to do, honestly. He checking ain't cheating. That's his thing. That checking ain't cheating. It ain't cheating if you ain't checking. I said it's already an OG Percy. Why you trying to be an OG? It's an OG Kunta. The OG shit damn near played out because everybody want to be an OG and ain't nobody really an OG. Coming to find out, Gumby wasn't even an OG. He a little homie. So why are you going by OG? We gonna call you Hoover Gumby. We gonna call you Bounty Hunter BJ. And so I give it to you, Bounty Hunter BJ, the jig is up. The jig is up. I wasn't trying to make another you though. I don't even think about you when I'm making my content. The fact that you would sit here and hate on Gumby and go off on me as if I did you something ever, all I did was look out for you. All I did was put you out there. Now, it's interesting that Bounty Hunter BJ has come forth as my newest hater. But I want to say this, for those in Texas who are watching who may have been offended by previous Crip content or Hoover content that I made, I want to say I started with the Bloods. Like, we started because Bloods in Fort Worth were saying cuz and not blood. So when I finally started interviewing the OGs, they had a message that they wanted to get to their little homies, like, bro, y'all doing this wrong. And because I'm around all the killers and all the little homies, quote unquote, interviewing them and getting to know them on a personal level, it was like the OGs wanted to sit down with me. And in the process of this, some history had got brought to me that the 5 was not valid amongst the Bloods, but in Texas, all Bloods bang the 5-point star. In Texas, I'm gonna say most, because some have changed their narrative since I came to the internet with the narrative that the 5-point star doesn't exist for Bloods.
Man, I was talking to one of the big homies from Truman, and he told me something that really just blew me. You know, so in Texas, other states, and I'm sure even the UBN affiliates of New York, they bang the 5. But he was like, man, the 5 is a myth. Now, I know people who will kill you over the 5. They will do you something. They do you something bad over the 5, and they believe in it, and you can't tell them.
That's their sincerity, because that's what they really rep, bro.
Right.
Feel me? And then not only that, more than likely, that means they really represent the origins of that shit. So that's why it's so sincere to them.
Well, the thing about it is in California, which is the origins of gangbanging as far as Bloods and Crips go, the 5 doesn't exist.
Nah. Don't exist. We don't harvest over the pointers. We don't, do the 5 or the 3 pointers or the 4s. That wasn't something that was planted as far as embedded in us when we established this in the 60s, the late 60s, and coming in the early 70s. You know what I'm saying?
The 5-point star exists for vice lords, for land kings, for members of the people's nation, which Bloods are not in. The only faction of the Bloods that are regarded as part of the people's nation are the Bloods who fall up under T. Rogers in the jungles. And that's because T. Rogers is originally from Chicago. But when he moved to Cali, this was the politics, and he had to do what he had to do, and he got permission ultimately from Chief Malik, the head of the vice lords, in order to do what he needed to do. I believe it was the head of the vice lords, but however it is,
the Bloodstone villains, the jungles,
They're People's Nation.
Those are the only ones that you consider People's Nation.
Well, let me say this, because these interviews be tricky.
I don't mean
the way y'all say, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Let me say this, that I know, that I have information and record of. Yeah, they the only blood set that's part of the People Nation 5. 5 that I represent. You know what I'm saying. And that ain't no pun intended to my bloods out there. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying.
Point and the purpose of that is that the 5-point star is not California knowledge or history. It's Chicago knowledge and history, in which came about while the Bloods in New York were under a lot of pressure from the land kings. And so those Bloods on the Puerto Ricans, which obviously fall under the land kings, which are members of the 5, right? So that's like the 5 beefing with the 5. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But in New York, all Bloods banded together, and a lot of times, because the Bloods ran in smaller groups, they would band together with the vice lords. The difference between a vice lord and a Blood is there's several differences, but one of the main ones is, even though they both might wear a right flag, one of them is to the right, the other one banging to the left. A lot of Bloods in Texas didn't know this. A lot of Bloods in Texas just got the knowledge that, hey, we 5-point rocking. This is what we doing. Our almighty 5. But truthfully, that's vice lord knowledge. So around the time I first started conducting my research on gangs, I went to California to interview Bounty Hunter BJ, and I was introduced to him by Spliff D. Well, Spliff D, he was hype on BJ. He was really like into that. I wasn't messing with BJ at all. It wasn't until I came across that discrepancy and I was like, you know what? Let me go ask him because he's credible. He's double OG Nickerson Garden bounty hunter, second generation bounty hunter blood. And so, but bounty hunter BJ wasn't on that at the time. Bounty hunter BJ was making content and never went to the Nickerson Gardens. He never went. I tried to get him to go. I'm like, bro, do this and we gonna go crazy. He was like, no, I'm not on that. He's recently gone to the Nickersons because of the Gumby hood vlog that I did in the Hoovers. So you really trying to recreate and reproduce and reduplicate what we did when you can't do that. When I quit working with you, you went down the drain. I hate to say it like that because you still got action. You still have a story. You still care. Like, you not a Kunta. I'm going to give you your respect off top. I'm going to give you your respect off top because you not one of these internet gangsters. Like, in the streets, at some point, you was that. And I feel like you getting so caught up in that name, Bounty Hunter BJ, that I hate I gave you that name. Because now you want to be Bounty Hunter BJ. When I met you, you was trying to be CEO Nino Cappuccino. You was talking business. You was talking righteous. Now, you over here hating on another man? What? Because the Hoovers are popping now? And I'm the reason? So I bring up the story of the Bloods because the issue that the Hoovers took upon themselves from Houston or Fort Worth or whatever you in Texas was that I exposed the fact that there was a war between HCG and HGC for the purpose of hoping to stop the war with the knowledge. Like, once you had a knowledge of how it's supposed to be done or how it's going on, maybe y'all would stop fighting over the things that they're laughing at us about in California. So while I was in California on Hoover Street, the Hoovers were laughing at the Hoovers in Houston who were beefing over the ER and the A. You were beefing over the ER and the A, right? And they're laughing at I'm laughing too because it's dumb, but I thought that was the thing, right? Because in Houston or Texas, they spell it HOOVA. But in Cali, when you get on the street or you go to the schools or you go to the parks, you will see it's HOOVER, Hoover Street, okay? J. Edgar Hoover, I believe, is the namesake of the street. But however it is, that's the street. That's what they claim and that's what they bang. So I'm like, okay, y'all laughing at this and niggas is borderline dying over this, right? And right now it's probably at its worst that it's been because now that the information is out there, it's like, okay, are we going to switch or we not going to switch? And now people have to make a decision. I did not intend to do that. Like, I didn't intend to influence gang politics on a national level. I didn't intend it for the Bloods. Like I said, 21 shots, 6 shots. They were saying cuz, J-Dub even, they were saying cuz in Fort Worth before RealToon came. That was a thing in Fort Worth. Like, because a lot of gangs now are hybrid gangs, there is Bloods and Crips in the same organization. So you might have a Crip partner that died. And so in his honor, you might start saying cuz. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened in Fort Worth prior to me jumping on the scene. My goal wasn't to correct gang politics. I don't give a fuck about gang politics. Some of the people who get on my channel, that's their goal though. That was Gumby's goal. Gumby literally wanted Fort Worth to come within the grander fold of what the Hoovers had going on via what he calls the right way. And he went through the extremes to express that. Me, on the other hand, I wanted to educate my people. I felt like my people deserve to know that we ain't have it right from the Bloods or the Crips. And what do we do with that information? See, that part I didn't know. That part I couldn't predict. In my mind, I'm like, well, some people are going to drop their flag because that's what Trilla did. Some people might go to war. Some people might just stay the same. Some people, it doesn't even matter to. But regardless, this is the ugly history that we have. So I went a step further. I'm trying to find my book. I don't have it on me right now, but I went a step further and figured out why and how did the knowledge and information get switched up. And what I found was so crazy. It was like the fact that the California niggas didn't give a fuck about us. Like, they didn't give a fuck The only niggas who knew Hoover, Sam, who was the triple OG, started the set in Shreveport and Houston, were the niggas he was getting money with. Like, if you were directly dealing with him or you was getting money some kind of how, some way, like, it was a money thing. Sam was a get money guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that he wasn't authentic with his love for Hoover. I'm sure he was. But the reality is that's not what he came for. He ain't come for the street. He came for the money. And so when it was time to move around, they moved around. And those who stayed, stayed. That's the ugly truth. And obviously I can go a little bit deeper than that, but that's not why I came here today. I came here to address Bounty Hunter BJ hating on RealToon. And I thought it would be a good place to address how I influenced gang politics twice with both the Bloods and the Crips, because a lot of people somehow, some way feel, man, Toon, an honorary Hoover, Toon. Let me tell you, I'm honorary everything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really honorary nothing. On Stop 6, Bloods, Crips, Tango Blast, the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? We've covered all of these things because these things have a direct correlation and a direct effect on Texas, right? And from the outside looking in, the people who are educated, the people who don't have to live this life or may have never experienced gang culture in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it looks dumb. And some of y'all looking back at it might be like, man, that was dumb. We never researched what we were a part of. We never Google searched. A lot of this you can find on Google. A lot of this you can find on ChatGPT. But it's not dumb. It's not dumb. It was a lot of propaganda. There were laws that passed. There was a lot that transpired in the midst of the Great Migration and the Great coming back via the drug trade, right? There was a lot that transpired. And so my job wasn't just to say, hey, this isn't right. My job was to say that this is how they're doing it and here's why. This is what happened in our area and what are we going to do about it? Actually, the what are we going to do about it ain't my job. My job is just to let y'all know. My goal is to spark that idea, spark that one mind. I just need that one that might change the world for whatever reason, right? I didn't say I came to this internet as some type of do-gooder who wanted to make a difference. I didn't come to the internet for that. But I did set out on this journey and study of gang culture for the purposes of trying to figure out, how do we get a China-fied J-Dub? How do we get a 17-year-old who's gonna kill anything and everything and ultimately gets killed by his homeboys? That's why I started studying that gang shit at the level in which I started studying it. But when I went to California, it literally changed everything, because it's like, why are we claiming streets that we ain't ever been on? Once I found out these were streets, it was like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Like, what's going on? Like, I got cousins who from the Heights, but you rolling 60s. You ain't never been on 60th Street, and it's a whole street. That's what people not understanding, right? And so, you know, long story short, after figuring out what happened, I wrote the book, I made the documentaries, and people are still talking about it to this day. So I'm very proud and impressed with the fact that my narrative is causing so much commotion. But now that we know the truth, let's do something about the truth. What we gonna do about the truth is up to you. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you to do nothing. You know, I can't tell you to stop gangbanging. I can't tell you to stop killing each other. I can't tell you to get it right. I can't tell you that you're wrong. Personally, I don't think Fort Worth is wrong. I don't think Houston is wrong. I don't think anybody is wrong. I believe in a concept called cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion is when people move, and in the process of them moving, part of their culture, right, gets taken. Okay. And that's what happened with California and Texas, because if you look at it, Dr. Dre recruited a lot of his musical talent from the city of Fort Worth and from Dallas, right? The DOC is from Dallas. There was a guy named Six Deuce, Fort Worth. Genocide, that's their group, Fort Worth. All of these people were from DFW. And in addition to that, they really created the sound of the Chronic. Like, the DOC wrote a lot of Eazy-E's music, and Ice Cube gets the credit, but really DOC is the pen, right? DOC is the pen. So I'm saying that to say the Dickie Factory is from Texas. So a lot of gangsterism or gangster culture came from Texas. A lot of things were adopted by both, right? We obviously adopted the colors, and they adopted the lifestyle and the culture and the swag, you know, and the drip. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what transpired, you know? And unfortunately, because the intentions were never pure, because the intentions were money only, that's what we were left with. Some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff that we can look back and say, dang, we was wrong. Some people will never admit it because it's a pride thing. I'd be hurt too if I've been claiming some 30 years. The truth about gangbanging is you join when you're 15. So at the age of 15, I can't say that I was going to get everything right. And if we looked at it from that standpoint, we might be able to look at it and be like, you know what? You might have a point. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, though, man. RealToon, Money in the Room, man. Shout out Bounty Hunter BJ. I know he's going to be upset about this response, me calling him a hater, because he's hating on me. And, you know, BJ, leave me alone. I'm going to just say that, bro. You done made 2 interviews hating, sneak dissing. You know what I'm saying? Why you sneak dissing? I don't know. Why you feel like, you spill me like, why do you feel like you need to speak on Gumby and get Gumby away from me? I don't know. Because the problem with that situation is, once Gumby got away from me was when he went to jail. Once Gumby got away from RealToon is when Gumby went to jail. That's what I think we're missing. That's what I think is not being talked about here. That's what I think the people don't know and don't understand, is once he got away from me is when he went to jail. And he was going to go to jail regardless because he had a warrant out for his arrest. Yeah. RealToon is on some, before you go sit down that time and do that time, why don't you set up this plot to get some money out here in Houston where you loved, respected, and you got some stationary foundation. But, you know, obviously Gumby wanted to see his children, and obviously that was his downfall. Very sad predicament that we in as black men, that sometimes we don't even get to see our kids, and if we do, we risk jail time. And that's the situation that Gumby found himself in. So, man, free Gumby. I hope Gumby gets everything taken care of. And I hope Gumby come home. Gumby, they saying you don't got a bond. You know, if you need a bond, if you need somebody to go in, man, have Trigger, have somebody hit me up. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get it figured out. You know, that's no problem. Money in the Room, RealToon.